that the reason why the Ireland they recover from the financial crisis so soon?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think Ireland was hit really badly about 6 or 7 years ago with a economic tsunami, and it was a combination of factors. It was primarily due to the global economy, which was in downturn, and also Ireland had for a number of years over-depended on a single sector, the property sector. So we had overinvestment in property development, both residential, commercial, and prices rose exponentially, way too fast, and it became unsustainable. And then all of a sudden, with the downturn in the global economy and the lack of finance available from the banks, with the increase in prices, our property market took a huge hit and started to go into free fall. And that was on the residential and commercial. So we had a very fast downturn, and we had a very strong economy up to then, but then everything came together. And because of all of those factors, we had a significant downturn in the economic environment. The reason we've come back so quickly, and it's taken 4 or 5 years, but relative to where it was, it's come back very strong for a number of reasons. I think we're very fortunate that we have a very young and highly educated population, and that's one of the factors. The other factor is that our cost base reduced significantly. When you think about the rents for buildings such as this, or for commercial or residential, the rents came right down to very, very reasonable levels. And because of that, then there was a lot more competition, and it made Ireland a little bit more competitive because costs were decreasing. Another reason was that for the last 3 years, we've had a very strong coordinated approach from government to the restoration of our economic sovereignty. So we work very closely with the IMF and the EU to renegotiate the debts that we had, to bring them to a reasonable level. And in return, we committed to making significant cutbacks in the costs of our public sector. So organisations like Enterprise Ireland, salary costs have been reduced, our teachers, our policemen, our fire brigade, civil servants, all of them have taken significant salary reductions, and they've cut a lot of costs out of the public sector pay bill. Another reason is because there is a strong joined up approach from all of government on an action plan for jobs. So the priority for the last 3 or 4 years is about creating employment, and that has absolutely focused on trying to create jobs for the young educated people that are here on the island of Ireland. So they're a combination of factors. And then I suppose finally the global economy has rebounded in the last couple of years, and that's helped obviously Ireland, because we're a very small island, off an island, not unlike Taiwan, and we rely very much on the global economy. So when the global economy is successful, Ireland will be successful. So they're the fundamental reasons why we've been able to regain a lot of the losses that we took 6, 7 years ago.
So, Alan, do you have a number of employee, the foreigner investor? How many numbers they offer for the job opportunity?
Well, if you look at the entire foreign direct investment environment in Ireland, there is approximately 160,000 people employed by those companies. Now, what's also important, if you look at the companies that Enterprise Ireland work with, which are Irish exporting companies, we have over 175,000 people employed by our client companies. So when you add the two of them together, it's almost 330,000 people. Now, for every job that is created by an Irish exporting company, that supports almost 1.5 jobs in the wider economy. So in total, there is over 500,000 people that rely on foreign direct investment or Irish exporting companies for their livelihoods. And that's a significant part of our workforce. One other reason that the recovery has happened very quickly, especially in the last 12 months, is consumer confidence. People were very down after 5 years of negative growth. And it took a long time for them to regain confidence, because there was a lot of money in the Irish system. People had accumulated quite a lot of wealth, and they were holding on to that wealth, afraid to spend it. And they were being very conservative, less vacations, not replacing their cars, not improving their homes, not spending on restaurants and hotels. That has changed in the last 12 months. Our tourist numbers are up. People are taking vacations. This year, the car registration is one of the highest in the last 7 years. So people are starting to spend money again. And once you start spending money in the economy, that has a multiplier effect because of the VAT, income tax, and personal tax. So builders get more jobs to renovate homes, hotels get more money from tourists. People are working again, so they're paying their tax and they're spending more money in the general economy. So all of these things have been very helpful.
Okay. So Alan, would you mind talk about the young about how to Ireland government how to attract the global well-educated young men come here?
To come here?
Yeah.
Well, young people today are very mobile. And we have people who leave Ireland to go overseas to work in Asia, America, Europe. And we also have a lot of people from Europe and from America and from Asia that come to Ireland. There's a couple of reasons that they come. Number one, they may want to study. So we have a lot of students from Brazil, India, China, some from Taiwan, Japan, Europe and America. And they're coming here to study university degree or postgraduate degree, doctorate degree. And that's one cohort. The second cohort are kind of a young, mobile group of technology-savvy people. And they're coming here because of the job opportunities. When you look around Dublin and Cork and Limerick and Galway, you see all the global names that everybody knows about, like Facebook, eBay, Google, IBM, HP, Intel. All of those companies are here with significant operations, and that's one part of it. The second part is that there is a very strong cohort of Irish companies that are also recruiting from overseas. So companies in airline software, companies that do mobile payments, companies that do mobile phone software, and all of these companies are very attractive to young people around the world. So we have a lot of people coming in. So our workforce, even though our unemployment is still very high, our workforce has actually increased because while some people have left, a number of people have come in to work and live in Ireland.
So do the government have a more policy for attract more people come here?
Well, we have a very pragmatic policy. Like first and foremost, the challenge for the government is the high unemployment. So the young Irish people with no jobs. Some of them are victims of the economic downturn where, say for example, they may have been architects or they may have worked on building sites when construction was very, very strong. Now the challenge there is that we need to reskill and retrain. So the government have put a lot of programs in place to help retrain and reskill people so their skills then match the needs of the modern employer in Ireland from the tech sector, for example. And that's been quite successful. They also have a very pragmatic policy about if a company needs a particular skill set. You've just been to Google and you see people from all over the world working there. They may have special requirements that they require Russian language or Chinese to provide the support that's needed out of the Irish operation. Well, if that's not available, well then we have a very liberal immigration policy for people that have the skills that match the needs of the companies that we have here.
Okay. So, would you mind to talk about any chance, any opportunity for Taiwan business people to invest here?
Sure, yeah.
Which kind of industry is better for Taiwan?
Well, Taiwan is a very successful country and has some fantastic companies. And while there may not be as many consumer brands known from Taiwan, we all know that inside the iPad or inside the laptop or in technology around you, there's a lot of Taiwanese companies placing product there. The types of companies that will do well in Ireland from Taiwan are companies that are interested in the European market. Like Ireland is part of the EU. So we have full access and free access to all of Europe. So companies in medical device is also a very strong industry. So anybody involved in ICT, information communication technologies, anybody in medical devices, anybody in pharmaceuticals, the high value add industry will be very successful. So we would love to see HTC or Acer or Foxconn or people like that coming to Ireland with their high value products. Another area of very particular interest is on international services. So Ireland is one of the world's leading locations for aircraft leasing. And aircraft leasing is a massive industry and there's a very, very strong interest from companies all over the world to set up captive leasing operations here in Ireland. So we have companies from all over the globe, including China. I'm not too sure about Taiwan. I don't think so yet, but I know some companies are in discussion to use Ireland as an advantage base for the rest of Europe. And the reasons they come here, we've got talent, young, educated people.
Yeah.
We've got very good infrastructure.
Yeah.
So the road network, broadband is everywhere. It's easy to do business. We've got connectivity in terms of daily flights to the US, Europe, Asia. We've got a low tax regime. So for a company, the Irish tax rate is 12.5%, which is and that's one of the lowest tax rates in the world for corporations. So that's very attractive.
Okay. So Alan, that's also for the single person. If I work in Ireland, what's the advantage then in Paris or in Germany? Is that a little different? Or?
Yeah, well, we would like to think it's going to be a different experience. I think on a practical level, first of all, English is our native tongue. And a lot of people in Taiwan, for example, or around the world, their second language is English. So it's a little simpler to work and operate in Ireland when you have English as a second language. The second thing is that Ireland is a very modern and a very sophisticated country, especially the major urban centres. We've got world-class theatre, literary, dance, music, very famous for its cultural kind of background, very strong in literature as well. And it's quite a nice place to live. We like to think it's a friendly, welcoming place, and it's also quite small. So it's easy to get around. And it doesn't have the big city type feeling, which can make some people feel very intimidated when they're moving from overseas. It's also very multicultural. You go to any of our companies, Irish companies or foreign companies, and their workforce are from all over the world. So it's a very interesting place, especially for a young person. They get to meet people from all over the world in a very small environment. So there's a lot of attraction. Also our costs. The cost of accommodation, renting and living here is a lot less than London, for example. But
yes.
We'd make a particular appeal for somebody who wants to start a business. If you have a business idea and you're interested in setting it up overseas, Dublin and Ireland would be one of the best locations in the world to do so. The reason being the availability of skilled people, the availability of funding. Enterprise Ireland funds over 100 startups every year. We invest in startups. And we invested last year in 14 startups from overseas. So these were 14 young people who came to Ireland to set up their own business. So it wasn't an old business or an established business, it was a young business just starting from the very, very first day. And we invested in those companies. So we're very keen to talk to people that have interest in setting up companies overseas.
So Ellen, I read some information about the businessman who want to create a company in Ireland. They just they have the 75,000. This kind of prepare this kind of money. 75,000. You can just not much. 75 is enough, and you can locate in Ireland, and you can create your business. Yeah, you can set up your whole new company.
There's labour and immigration laws that are quite flexible for people investing in Ireland and investing in jobs. What Enterprise Ireland does as a government agency, we work with entrepreneurs that want to start a business here. We don't have any minimum requirements for investments, but the business must be either manufacturing or international services that can employ 10 people within 3 years and be internationally focused. So all of our companies are focused on global markets. Ireland is too small to build a big business. It's only got 4.5 million people. So you don't have a huge market on your doorstep, but you have a huge market outside of Ireland in the EU with over 400 million people. So we only work with businesses that have an international dimension and an international plan. But we work with startups. So we're very keen to work with entrepreneurs. And there is no minimum investment, but we will make investments and we require you to match that. So if you wish to get an investment of 100,000 from EI, Enterprise Ireland, then you must raise 100,000 also. That's the simple requirement.
But because the Iceland, the people here very protect the environment. It's green everywhere, fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some Taiwanese they are good at how to running a big factory. The kind of pollution, I think. Yeah. Is that okay for locate here?
Big polluting factories are not really that welcome. We have big factories here, but they're very efficient, and there's lots of treatment that you can give the outputs of those factories. So when you look at Ireland, it's a food island. Food is one of our largest exports. It's a big business. So we're not going to do anything that would jeopardize the food industry. It accounts for over 50% of Irish exports. And we sell everywhere in the world. Irish food is very famous, very green, very clean, it's traceable, and food safety is so important nowadays everywhere that that's absolutely protected at any cost. But you know, when you look at most industry in Ireland today, it's very modern, it's very high tech, or it's service based, and they're the types of industries that we're looking to grow.
Okay, Ellen, would you mind talk about your department? EI.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, Enterprise Ireland is a government agency. We're fully funded by the Department of Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation. We have around 700 people working, and we have 31 offices around the world. So we have offices all over Europe, Asia, and the USA. And those offices are there to help Irish companies sell into those markets. So we help Irish companies internationalize. We also work with universities on commercializing research from universities, bringing the university research to our companies so they can commercialize it. We are the largest venture capitalists in Europe in terms of deal flow. So we invest in over 100 startups every year, and we take equity as a government agency. So we're also a catalyst for venture capital funds in Ireland. So we do an awful lot in Ireland with Enterprise Ireland. This is our headquarters here in Dublin, and we have 10 regional offices around the island of Ireland, and then 31 offices overseas. So our job is to help Irish companies start, grow, and internationalize.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Short and sweet, James?
Yeah.
It's all right? Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Well, the real work starts back in Taipei when you do all the editing. Cut. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Shirlin Night Market is one of our favorites. Yeah. We used to have I was telling James, we had an apartment in Juway.
Okay.
So they do. So how's your schedule? You okay you want to go to the house now? Yeah. Okay. Shirlin 1970s. Yeah. Very good wood. It's nice. Yeah. It's good. That'd be great if you drop all home. Maybe tonight, yeah, if you mind. Yeah. I'll sort it out.
It's gone off.
No.
You taste it. 我比较不喝牛奶，好像没有。有吗？
You okay?
后面好漂亮。
Yeah, it's okay.
因为我们待会想说，看能不能访问您跟先生你们的教育观念会不会有什么不同，有什么相同？
哇，
可以吗？
我不敢呢，因为我都没有在教小孩中文，很多其他的台湾妈妈都在说，所以我婆很烂。
他不会看的。
因为我是觉得说，
Now he's a cameraman's job.
We did some renovations last year.
聊天
One and a half
非
years
常
ago.
重要，所以在学校很多因为我是在美国长大，那爱尔兰也是很注重好啦，所以你去这边的超市，说你要赶时间，你就觉得还要讲这个吗？
哦，所以那你美国
对，因为西方也有不同，
对呀。
所以他们这边我是觉得像功课，我们要考试才会去，
通常是也是就是用
试的那种
补习，它算就是补习班，就是把你不会的它去加强这样子。
我妈说以前台湾也有库曼，它是都有活动，只有星期天可以放假。然后我公公就说， 我们这边的工会说要休2天。好可爱。
Put all that in the back. With the work for all that on the trampoline. You can big yard. Yes. Yeah. What's his face?
好大啊！
很大的。
看那个哦，那么远，
哇。
可以打一个迷你golf。
很小，里面就可以有洞天。
我觉得很好。
对你院子那么大，就是前面很小，后面那么大。就是你看后面。
不要路人甲，路人。
你们可以安排一下，看看怎么。
所以Yvonne跟 Alan 是在 You Made in Taiwan？哦，真的哦。
我那时候在那个英文报，
台湾有
现在变成台湾。
台湾 news 吗？
对。之前是一个总编辑是魏小萌。
魏小萌。
我妈最爱开翻译，
真的哦。
有缘哈，有缘分。
对啊。他会很开心。
这是麻花卷是那个我同事他们团购的时候，然后
好棒。
对，然后我就是很意外吃了之后，我就怎么那么好吃，然后我就给他研究一下，他们的还蛮天然的，所以我就买过来。
好周到。Okay. Maybe leave it out so her friend can have some publicity.
What's that?
我说放桌上，哦，这可是真不是什么，很浪费时间要去赶记者会。然后他后来就说要在。
是哦，很明显吗？
没有啊，他说我们先吃，等一下我老板会下来再谈。那他老板下来也是哈拉一声说，哎呦，吃一吃，然后我说我要走。
真的哦，我就开始有点。
反应。
Guys just arrived last night.
是吗？他说跟水质有关系嘛？对，台湾的好像是马来西亚过去，像现在在美国很流行自己做。不会，那你不要太。
没有，我其实只是这边。
他不会照到有关
但不会照到全部，它是一个小框框，然后背景这样，就是教育方。台湾对啊，然后这边对啊，所以他们的教育是就是比较没有压力，可是到几岁他开始就会有一些压力。
高中，所以你这个你不要报道，可是他们这边那个青少年男生的自杀率好像是欧洲里面最高的。可是我是觉得他们真的完全都不会怎么讲，都不会教他们要有毅力，你知道吗？就想放弃就放弃。小时候，所以他们在要开始功课很压力大的时候，有些会很受不了。
哦，真的。
我是这样想嘛。
所以难怪他们高一有一个什么全接训练，对
啊，
是不是就在班上？
那台湾是填鸭，我不管你爱不爱，喜不喜欢，你就是对要练起来。
台湾是这样。
美国台湾花艺很多虎妈啦，这里可能很难扮演虎妈，对不对？你现在刚讲
哦，猜个吗？
不行吧？这里的长辈。
对呀。
就像联考一样一个成绩。
然后你的志愿好像也是要考以前就先说好这个。
不知道你考成绩落在哪里。
然后有一些对有一些。
Ready? 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 Go. Ready? Come here. Good girl. Come here. Good
Girl?
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 Yeah. Good girl.
Oh,
Very good girl.
good girl.
Drop.
So Nelly's girl too.
We have two cats, one boy, one girl, brother, sister.
Oh.
Girl dog. That's a great girl. Come here.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, wait for it.
Like her.
Here's the ball. Drop. Come here. Drop. Come here. Drop. Good girl. Drop. Good girl. Ready? Sorry.
对。
我很高。
Sit down. Sit.
然后还有就我刚，然后有这。
Yes.
When she sits down, she shakes.
Yes.
Get the ball.
Oh. Like this.
背高手，不是你背，他就觉得这样非常不公平。他说，If you already have brains, why should people give you more？他说你。所以他们。在学校里面，
Everyone's breath is so horrible, not right in the middle. Guys, this isn't our ball. It's everyone's. My leg. Everyone, stop breathing. How do I win? I don't know. The second we pitch, everyone goes. Guys, look. Hello. Hello. Hey. Oh, you got my hand. We're beautiful. Oh, 2 minutes, Billy. Wow.
Oh. Okay.
How are we European champions? We have no idea.
Okay.
Do you know I am the tallest. Do you know Polish team beat Celtics 6-1 second grade? Oh God! No. Polish team beat Celtics 6-1. I know, but they Celtics was France. They brought us.
那也是电视。
Yeah, but he did actually. Hello. Actually did.
Say hello. Oh.
That's two.
OK。
哦耶！
啊，有像，有像，这样就看就有像了。
等一下，要先进去房那个。
其实我这样应该引导乙方来这边啊，跟他们小孩子讲话一下。连狗都玩疯。
有狗玩了。
他就教他。
I still have the ball. Oh, sorry.
结果我们就想，就长了一颗瘤在脖子上，然后后来我就觉得让他开心就好，反正他学校功课还最优秀的人物，哪一个是双语？对不对？除非他们真的要当翻译，那好，不然的话，我觉得，对啊，所以我常会说，音乐也是一种语言，艺术也是一种语言。他看他自己的兴趣就发，很害羞，
很害羞。
他们虽然是男女同校，可是，
所以启峰，我想发问你刚刚那个观点，就是这边没有那个精英教育哦，他们不会说有资优班这个部分。
他们的学校是没有，他们的学校没有，我好像我没有听说过这附近的学校。They don't have like a gifted and talented program in schools here, right?
Not in the primary level, in the third level. There's some
High school.
programs for young kids in the universities, but they're part-time and temporary.
Okay. 可能高中以后
才会有。所以，那以这边的观点来讲，他们，比方你跟 Ellen 这样一起教育小孩啊，有什么想法？因为你自己是在美国，对，那个环境，然后再到这里来，有什么样的观点是比较明显的不一样？
我觉得这边的家长们比较不会怎么讲，他们跟小孩会打成一片。那所以你去这边的 pub， 有时候你会看到青少年跟爸爸妈妈就在一起聊天。
去 pub 啊？
他们自己不会喝酒，可是爸妈在那边喝几杯，他们在喝可乐什么，可是他们很愿意，你知道吗？跟爸妈这样开玩笑。
蛮特别的。
对啊，有说有笑，对，就那个美国人也不会，美国的青少年比较叛逆，他们不会那样子。可是爱尔兰人跟父母亲很亲近，可是我看他很少会跟小朋友说不可以。我们都就说小孩要怎样，他就让他们做。
哦，真的哦。所以在这个观点上，你们会有讨论。
对，有时候要
开放到什么程度？
对。像连打电动，我如果说9点一定要去洗澡睡觉，我如果出去的话9点半回来，如果是爸爸在家，他们还在玩，他就说我跟他们说再半个小时没关系，他就比较心软了。
是哦。
他比较心软。
OK。
所以他都是 good cop， 我是 bad cop。比较凶。
是哦，那所以 Evan 有觉得说我们东方人的哪些观点是他们觉得最不一样的？他有时候会有什么功课，他会应该说玩这件事情应该是很明显的吧？
对，他们觉得小孩子要玩耍比较健康，所以连在学校如果天气好，因为这边爱尔兰常下雨，如果天气好的话。有时候校长就说今天没功课，然后连上课时间都说在操场玩就好了。
真的。
天气好起来，有时候他们可能一天只上个1小时，然后其他时间都在操场玩。
In Taiwan we have full schedule when we were in school, even after school full schedule. Yeah.
So 7 or 8.
I'm very curious why here. The boy and girl here are very happy, and
maybe because they've lots of free time. Yeah.
I was saying Miss Atkin, if it's a nice day, she just let them play all day outside.
At the junior level, at second level, it's more strict. And they have after school homework class and extra class, but generally at primary level up to the age of 12, it's quite relaxed.
And do you think that it's very, it's all totally different education way from Taiwan, Asia, and here?
I think so.
How do you think that Asia education? Two place or two?
I don't know. Maybe there's a happy medium between the two. I think in Asia it's very strict and very long hours for very young children. And here it's a bit more relaxed, but it's strict enough here, but just the hours are not as long. So maybe there's a medium place to be. But statistically, Taiwan and Korea are very strong in mathematics and science, and it shows because people kind of put a lot of effort in and do a lot of work.
But I'm very curious that what can children learn from relax? Our parents think that you cannot stop learning practice.
Well, I think there's a lot of social interaction, social skills, builds a lot of confidence, and there's a lot of sport. So it's not about coming home from school and sitting in front of a computer playing games all the time. We're fortunate here that we have a lot of space. So in Taiwan, when I lived there was very few green spaces. People live in apartments, so you can't let your children out to run around the streets and play with their friends as easy as you can in somewhere like Ireland. So there's a lot of structured activities that Yvonne manages after school. So this evening Connor is going to soccer practice. He would have guitar class during the week. They do tennis during the week. So this, and then at weekends they play Irish football, soccer. They play other sports, tennis. So there's a lot of structured activities, but outside of school.
Yeah, and not necessarily academic.
Yeah, and that's helping them with team working. They're playing with other people and helps them interact socially, but also helps their team working when they're playing lots of sports. So it's a pretty good balance. But that's at a very young age. As they get older, more of the balance is towards the academic and the schooling, and less free time during the daytime.
Yeah， 对，我那天也是也是有一位台侨的爸爸就跟我说啊，他说我们台湾都没有在教那个怎么做公关。relation， 对啊，他就没有教小朋友这个部分，他觉得好，这是他觉得印象很深刻的。对，这边会注重这种，
非常注重像跟人家谈话什么，他们文化里面就语言表达的那方面非常重要，所以我觉得他们爱就让小孩玩，也是让他们比较有想象力吧。
想象力
所以爱尔兰很多的诺贝尔文学奖，我觉得可能跟那个也有关，就他们从小就必须知道怎么表达自己的想法。在学校，他们非常注重像表演或是演讲那部分。每个小孩，他们好像每年会有2-3次的那个 whole school assembly，然后就每一个小孩都一定会有机会上台说几句话。
他们的考试不会有那种分数评比，然后你排第几名这样吗？
不会耶。
不会啊。
他们是有一个 standardized test， 可是家长一个一个教进来，跟你说你小孩表现的怎么样，他不会跟你说排第几名，他会说全国的几个 percentage 这样。percentage。Yeah， 他说可能 top 10% 或是 top 那80% 这样子。
We see the ranking when we study.
In your class.
Yeah, always ranking. You are bad, you are good. Yeah. So I like to know that first difference.
Yeah.
这边完全不会说。
Although we've been told Thomas's teacher next year, he has a ranking system. Him personally ranks the kids.
But not based on. Not based
behavior
on
and academic, no, more behavior than academic, I suppose. But there is standardized tests here, so your kids are ranked against the norm in Ireland. And for kids their age, so they do have tests every year.
But they don't publicly put it in the classroom because in Taiwan, I think in elementary school, your teacher tells you your ranking in the class at the end of the exam.
They talk to each other, so the kids share.
They try to guess.
对，这样真的有差别吼。对啊，所以职校那个1年其实还蛮，他们不会说比较偏就是说偏向那种升学的普通班。你如果去走职校，他们一样是很重视的吗？因为我们总觉得说，那你去念职校，那就是你功课不够好，你才去念职校，高中你念高职，对，然后上公立高中的那个才升上大学。那个体系，他们才觉得台湾觉得那是正统，对吧？这边好像不会。
这边 ，Do you have like a technical school?
Yeah, we do. We have a technical college. So typically, if children at the age of 15, they don't wish to go on to finish their leaving certificate, they can go into a technical school to learn a trade or a craft. They can be a builder, construction, or a mechanic, or electrician. But most kids nowadays, they go to finish school and then they do their technical training.
So they will finish high school.
Most kids now will finish high school and then do technical training, and we have technical colleges and vocational schools. Yeah.
But is it not? Do people think it's non-mainstream if you go to technical school?
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of the options. You kind of have a wide range.
But there's no sort of discrimination, or like people don't look down on you a little bit.
Well, it's not as egalitarian as Germany, for example, where there seems to be mutual respect regardless of your career choice, and because of that, you don't have the huge discrepancy in pay scales. In Ireland, yes, it is, because the careers that are paid most require the greatest level of educational qualification. Yet an electrician will do 4 years training, which is somebody does 4 years in a degree. An electrician spends 4 years, and some of the most successful people in Ireland in the last 10 years are people with technical qualifications, and not the medicine, not the doctors as such. But yeah, there is a snobbery about that here. Okay, you're very welcome.
所有的足球都被狗咬过。
喜欢咬那个球状的。我看他跟小朋友玩得很尽兴呢。
对他很爱小孩。
他也要掺一脚。
So it's a dig. So I pause and I leave her in there. Drink your water. Drink your water. Get your treat. Come on.
然后有一只鸟也是，我的猫会在那边，然后那鸟会一直叫，然后他们有一次猫就在树底下，然后那个鸟一直在叫，猫就说它又叫到一个朋友，结果过几天我跟Alan说他朋友的头好像不见了，
被吃掉了。
这一次的 summer vacation 没有 homework， 完全没有 ，totally。
Well, Yvonne makes them do some worksheets. And Yvonne's mother was here. Did some Chinese or maths.
数学啊，
还有一些那个他们英文说 reading comprehension。我妈有亲，我每年夏天都会买。
都帮妈妈会帮忙推一下呀。
他们就会很生气。
很生气呀！
我们同学都没有这样子。
真的哦。这个是台湾特别教的。
My two kids. Basically,
你帮愿意再帮我拿一次吗？他那个是练习
除法跟
所以他们有开始在，就是里面有一些很精神的。
我都撕下来让他们写，所以。
为什么？
他这个是用
没有啦，我都撕下来，然后他们写完就。还有一些我看，
因为这样子感觉不用一本嘛，一张就。
对啊。
比较不会那么压力
对
大。
他就不会觉得说好像。他还有一叠，上次那个哭嘛，我跟你说。
所以都是一张一张的。
啊？
就都是一张一张的。
把它如果是一个单元，对，把它撕下来。所以他们的，如果他们这边的这个撕的哈，撕的很急。如果他们这边的9九乘法，他们是怎么教啊？他们要背吗？不用哦。
所以我就很生气，因为他到4年级，有时候还都没背。我就那个没有办法不背的。
对啊，这背最快了。对啊。
所以我就觉得这种方法的话，多练习就会慢慢背下来。
那美国要背吗？要背这一块吗？
美国有一些歌，他会教你唱一些歌啊什么的。
还是有一些又靠
技巧，对啊，
记忆的部分。但这边是完全没有这个。
所以很多其他的爱尔兰妈妈都在问我，小孩子怎么学的？我就说就要背啊。
了解。
他们就觉得好像他们天生那样。其实我自己的数学很烂，所以我知道我是天生的。
如果不好，
都很简单嘛，可是就练习嘛。
有没有一些他写过的？
没有因为写过就
丢掉了。
家里堆好多东西，对啊，叫他们回来做给你看，你就可以看到他们那个表情。真的吗？可以吗？Alan, she wants to film the kids' expressions and I tell them to do it. Go on, go get them. It's more natural, I think. But I have to fight against every day. 没有啊，你才知道当妈妈好辛苦。
讲他的这个两种教育的。
对，然后有这种爸爸什么都说 OK， 买电脑 OK， 买 iPad OK。
那要是我也会这样。
跟他们是说中文吗？小孩？
没有。
你如果跟他说中文，他听得懂吗？
可能哥哥比较听得懂。他们在学校也在学那个盖尔兰文，所以
母语。
对呀，所以我觉得，然后等一下高中要选一个语言，可是这边现在高中可以选中文，然后都是简体字，所以就
高中是说这是整个政策嘛，你要开始外语，
然后都是大陆那边那个孔子学院的教材，连老师都是孔子学院。
那个推广的很凶。
OK。
经面色苍白了。
Write it slowly。他在找借口，他说我的手受伤了。Show her your cut。所以他不能写。Move your chair around this way because there's a ledge. Do you want division or multiplication? How about you, Tom? Division or multiplication? Yeah.
Oh wait, squares I know.
Okay. Here, I'll get your drink. You sit down and work. Let me get that. Stop looking for excuses. I'll get a pencil.一个要50 cents， 欧派才1罐哦。所以我们回台湾都拼命喝，好便宜哦。Right with me, you're on TV.
Jojo's going to see this and ooh yeah.
Yeah.
I see you doing this.
Get more red envelopes for New Year.
They have a lot of family in Taiwan, and every year they go back, and one family in particular spoil them, bring them to Soho, buy them toys, so it's their favourite. Gu ye ye. Gu ye ye?
Gu ye ye.
Gu ye ye.
Jojo.
就带他们去算。
每年都会走去 Happy
Maybe 2 times every 3 years. So to Taiwan 1 year, then States. Because he lost mothers in the States and Taiwan, so we can change. But America each year, or else Taiwan, America, Taiwan, America. So next year, Taiwan. Well, we sold our apartment now. Bob's mother lives in Judah, so we probably stay with Bob's mother. They know all the stations in Australia. So
Which is bigger, basically.
这边没有那种车型，男士。
Sometimes just standing there for 10 minutes. Lots of cars coming by.
Alan 的那个主舌音发得很好，然后计程车，对，然后也是说中文啊，学后，在台湾学了。
他有时候听得懂，所以我跟我妈讲电话在骂他，在旁边，偷笑。你看，他听得懂。
Because she always says the same things about my Chinese.
他听得懂比会说的多，可是喝了几杯以后就很有自信，
就会讲。
会讲，他自己觉得会讲老中文，别人很会猜。
Vino Veritas.
Not finished yet.
What's that?
还好。
Oh no, that's numbers. It's not Chinese.
Oh, they're doing. I was saying that
Oh,
you
that's
can do
okay.
the math worksheets. Great job, Tom.
And you're able to write with your bad arm. That's even better. Peanut, you've been on the camera enough. Give him a gig. It's good.
Are all your
Sit down.
friends still outside? Should we get them ice creams?
Sure.
Why don't you go get the
Sit.
Oreo
Sit
ice
down.
cream
Sit. Sit
when you
down.
finish?
哦。
对，要给他鼓励一下，
It's good.
给他鼓励一下。
She understand.
Oh, she's good. She can be good in that.
你要采访他们说他们做这个很开心。
他们愿意说吗？愿意说心里话。
真的讲真的。
他们愿意说啊。
OK，好啊。
Go. Good. Drink. Good.
好，we. 你怎么称呼？我叫阿雅。阿雅。Aya wants you to say how you really feel about mom making you do really feel. I won't be hurt. Do your friends have to do this?
No.
And do you think it's fair that mom makes you do it?
Kind of.
Do you love it? Do you love doing it?
Not really.
Not really? No. Do you try to avoid it?
No.
No. Professional.
Just say hello to Guye.
You want to say hi to your family in Taiwan?
Say right.
There, look at the camera.
Camera.
Hello.
Say Chinese.
Yeah.
So you don't have any homework this summer vacation, right?
Yeah.
Do you get homework in the summers?
No.
No.
所以不同班都不一样。
没有，都完全没有，小学都没有暑期作业。
哦，真的哦。
Even in secondary school, they don't have
No.
summer
No, your
work.
friends they don't have any summer. No.
3 months off.
OK。很可爱哦，谢谢。弟弟呢？弟弟会不会抱怨比较多？
Connor, do you want? She wants to know your real honest.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that the kids in Taiwan will be like thinking because they have to do a lot of work. So compared to the kids here, do you think the kids in Taiwan do more work?
Yes.
Do you like doing worksheets or not?
A little bit.
Tell the truth. If you like it, I'll give you 5 more after they go. You like doing the worksheets?
Not really.
Not really. Did you feel pain or you had mathematics or something?
Do you hate maths?
Feel cheated,
No.
do you?
No. Oh. Thank you.
What do you say?
他们还是在写，而且速度还是有哎。
可是都5年级、6年级了。
他现在
6
是
年级跟4年级了耶。
6跟4哈。OK。
所以这个应该很简单耶。
真的哈。到那边他们现在都好像6年级好像在学代数，是不是？台湾的好像拉到代数。
Change cars. Oh, where's my car key?
那他们一般上学就是一般就现在是暑假嘛？那一般在学校给他们功课多吗
5分钟就做好了。
是5分钟就写完的哦。
15分嘛。
哦，很幸福呢。
哎呀，太幸福了。
那他们会一直要求要看电视吗？这边的孩子？
我们现在这2个都很迷，有一个叫 Minecraft 的那个线上的游戏
呀、
要不要我叫他们玩给你看？
他们会迷。
他们那个有一点像积木，它的 graphics 非常的 low。
哦，真的、哦。
low resolution。然后人都这样方块头这样子，他们就很爱玩，可以自己盖房子，然后要自己去挖那个挖矿。
哦，是哦。
不知道为什么他们爱。
他们的学科，这个是盖尔文的呀。
对。
啊，盖尔文的
然后这个
作文。
是学校的 math
数学。
所以哥哥的课本，他们都直接用像 workbook 这样子。
哦，是哦。
都没有课本，就没有像我们以前都这样。
哦，对。
有一个，对。但是
练习本，
他们这个应该也是一个单元吧？
对。
哦，是5年级，这个是面积的，面积的算法。哦。所以功课大写这个，老师会帮你批就对了。同一本，就这一本而已啊。哦。
学，
这个是。
还有呢，还有这本是数学，
这本也是数学，
5年级的，
，OK。
要把这个拆开吗？
没关系，可以。他们这一本这边学的是
他们这就每天做一个
单元
功课
啊，还有这一本是给回家做功课的。哦，
然后就一天，一个这个，
他的确不会说很深呢，哈，他就是有些换算，对。
会有那种就是那种联络簿那一类的东西吗？如果老师想要对家长说什么话之类的，有比方说，像老师会对家长说什么？
不会啦，他就上面写说他今天的功课是什么什么，有时候就说要远足啊，要什么。
都是写这种要吃喝玩乐的事吗？
对，没有重要的事情，他不会写在上面，他会说请你到学校来谈。
哦，真的。
然后这是他的 project， 他自己去那个报告还有 get an ice cream for everyone。然后这是他们的盖尔文。
盖尔文要学到6年级啊？
学到高中毕业，然后你的那个联考考试
也要。
然后这边的小学老师也要有一定的盖尔文程度才可以。
该去教哦。所以他
会说我要去，就说你来 go to the bathroom 那类的，因为那就常用的。
哦，就大概就基础的还记得，其他的没有用就忘了嘛，吼。会这样。
这个是弟弟的，这是教 spelling。他怎么都没写？这个妈妈没有啦，这本他是写在
另外的字，
对，另外的纸上。然后这个是3年级的数学，
嘿，
这也跟另外那边的。
所以一天就这样一格啊？就一格就够了。
对，他们一般功课回来就是写一篇这个，然后
给一个笑脸啊。
他好像没带回来。有一个 spelling 的，他也是做小学没有，我们到高中才会。
我们叫自然吗？是自然那种。
就这样，这是他们一般功课就一个这个，然后一个 exercise，或是2个 exercise，不会有一整篇的。
好幸福哦！5
年级5年级它像一个 section 有20题，可是像3年级一个 section 可能只有10题。
是哦。
他们功课就这样子。哇！然后有时候就这2个，然后再写一个 journal，5 sentences 说今天发生的事情。
哦。所以你周五会不会大放假完全没有功课？
对啊，每个周五
是不会有的，只有1到4而已。OK， 哇，幸福！
所以他们很会交朋友，你看，
真的哦。对，那个时间就会发展到其他的。
对，他们几乎每天都会在家里。家里都乱七八糟。不会啊，其实也蛮快乐的。绿地，然后这边的环境，空气真的很好啊。而且这边下雨也是，不会说觉得说是什么，它不会说一直很集中，然后很毛毛雨这样。所以下雨他们还是会出去玩。是哦。除非是下雨。Hello。哦，他们开始支起冰淇淋。
我觉得他们书其实课本就不多，就这样。 不会像台湾一滴，然后也不会买什么参考书。
然后他们刚开始把成立的教育的时候，像很多学校的地现在还是属于教堂，他们所谓公立学校的租金，是地两教堂的，那所以呢，每个学校它如果是天主教学校，它就是天主教学校。所以我小孩排斥其他的文化，然后我就去他们这边其实也有一个叫 Educate Together，然后我就去打电话说我想在我们这一区成立一个学校，然后后来有盖起来，可是我后来找到一个基督教的学校，这边基督教徒比较少，所以就他们比较多空位，然后他有男女同校，
所以他们现在上的是基督教学校，但是跑比较远，对不对？
没有，还是在 local，
是一个很对，这个领域是属于教会，由教会的来传导他觉得正确的观念。
对
，OK。
然后像 Thomas 今年就5年级的时候开始有第一个 level 的那方面的 education，他们这边的一个专门
你可以帮我把这拉链打开吗？就是我说个声音，可以再慢一点，就是说个声音，要个声音，对。OK。
不然你如果有一些还需要问我再打给我。
好啊，还是一样有的 email，
就 Yvonne Kennedy，YVON，YVONNE。